good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Project Inspire's Heroes of Unity virtual dinner event. My name is Yossi Friedman, and it's my honor to be your host for this evening's program. We have a spectacular program planned for you. We have amazing honoree dinner videos featuring tonight's honorees. We have Joey Newcomb, who's going to be performing for us in the studio, and much, much more. So stay tuned, buckle up. It is a tremendous program, a wonderful evening to really celebrate wonderful people. Ladies and gentlemen, before we kick off tonight's program, a few thank yous. Firstly, special thank you to all of you who are tuning in and are contributing to Project Inspire and allowing us to continue to do our work. A special thank you to Dr. Stewart and Andrea Heitman, our founding partners who continue to allow us to do the work that we have done over the last 15 years and more, and God willing, for many, many more years. There's lots more work to do. Additionally, one of our sponsors for tonight's program is the Armon Hotel. The Armon Hotel, formerly the Crown Plaza of Stamford, Connecticut, where we plan our Project Inspire convention in February 25th. That's projectinspire.com. You can see more information on that. However, you don't need to be making a convention or coming to a convention to come to the Armon Hotel in Stamford, Connecticut. You can come for the kosher restaurant. You can surprise your wife for her birthday party. You can come to a midweek event, or for any occasion you would like with the kosher restaurant in the hotel. It's really a warm, cozy environment. Thank you so much to the Rosenberg family, to the management of the Armon Hotel. We look forward to seeing you soon at our convention. Thank you for your sponsorship. Ladies and gentlemen, our first video of tonight's program is to honor our Project Inspire Brooklyn honorees. And right after we watch this video, it'll be my honor to host here live in the studio Rabbi Chaim Samson, the founding director of Project Inspire. You all know Rabbi Samson. He'll be joining me here live right after this video of the Project Inspire Brooklyn honorees. Here they are.
The Brooklyn cadre of Project Inspire is an impressive and brotherhood group that inspires me and others. They are fun, they are real, they are knowledgeable, they know how to drink, they have a great skill set, they are all self-made.
Yoni is just so warm and welcoming. Every time you see him, he has a smile on his face. He's just one of those people you want to love.
So Project Inspire gives them the tools, and we've developed the tools and the opportunities, and we've seen a plethora of people really reaching out to other people in various different forms, in various different ways over the years, and the stories are tremendous, especially in Brooklyn, how people have changed their lives.
They have elevated my life, and they have informed and built my Jewish life.
We've gone to Israel, we've gone to Kentucky, we've gone to the Hamptons, we've been, this past week we were in Austin, Texas. You know, 35 men, and it was just a phenomenal trip that people were learning together, talking together. They want to continue their learning together, davening together.
On this trip, one of our guys from our group, his father had a yortzeit. So then all of a sudden, we as a group said, what better way to commemorate somebody's yortzeit is how about as a group, and not just as a group, as all of us, whoever on the trip, it's Brooklyn guys, it's guys from all over the United States, we're gonna pick a Mishnah and we all learn together. Everyone who went on the trip learned with their partners together, and so we have daily Mishnahs that are sent out to the team, and then on the Thursdays we all get together. There's a Zoom call for whoever cannot make it, and we'll learn a few additional Mishnahs, and God willing, we should be able to finish it.
It's activities that take place on a regular basis. We have something called the Black Box Breakfast. We get together, we put on tefillin together. So it's men who have, let's talk about the men that have decided that if they want to put on tefillin, that's a kiyum. That's something that they want to do. That gets them closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If they learn, if they have a chavrusa. So therefore, what that does for the non-frum and the frum, that there's a connection between both of them. Where we go on a trip, we only will take a ratio between frum and non-frum, and we'll build that kind of chavrusa, relationship between them.
They pair you up with whoever you're going to be learning partner is going to be, and then all of a sudden the learning becomes not your learning or you teaching, it becomes a bonding experience with somebody who you never knew before. Right? And that bonding experience keeps on growing and growing and growing, right?
I was very happy to be assigned to a chavrusa, and I never met Yaakov, but this guy is super great, super awesome. He even invited me to Shabbos, build new relationships. It was just great.
On the last trip, we had the Kums. We all got together in a circle and we're dancing, and doesn't matter how non-secular you are, religious you are, you're all dancing as one. And you know, that's the biggest bracha that you can give, is like to capture that moment to show it to other people.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Project Inspire Brooklyn for you. What an amazing and dynamic group of men and women who have done some amazing things together. Rabbi Chaim Samson is the founder director of Project Inspire, not only a colleague and dear friend of mine, but also a role model for me. And with us in the studio is Rabbi Samson. Rabbi Samson, welcome to this evening, Heroes of Unity.
Thank you, Yossi. It's what a pleasure it is to be with you here tonight.
Same here. Rabbi Samson, sitting here right now, what is this evening honoring these heroes of unity for Project Inspire? What does this mean to you?
I mean, I have to say that I feel humbled by it. I feel it's an incredible honor to be involved in what we're doing, and especially for these really incredible people that, you know, we have the great merit of honoring at this dinner tonight. All of them are so special. I think that, you know, anyone who meet these people, you want them to be your best friends for the rest of your life and stick around with them, because each one of them, each group of them, is just something else, you know. These people are so special, and I think that's one of the special things about Project Inspire, is that it's very human, it's caring, it's every individual makes a difference.
I want to interject because you're touching on a point which is extremely interesting, because it's not about groups or numbers or programs. We're not a trip organization. We're not a convention organization. We're a convention that's focused on the very people that are being honored here tonight.
Right.
Why is that so important to you, these individual people, but all individual people that are involved?
Well, I think the first thing just to point out, which is that one of the things I think people like about Project Inspire, and I think when they come to our programs they feel it, and it's because it's what we represent, is that we believe that every human being is made in the image of God, is special. And there's a tremendously non-judgmental feeling when people come involved. And that's one of the values that we teach, is that every human being has his own individual gifts, qualities that they can bring, and they're appreciated, they're not judged. Come in, we're all brothers and sisters, and we're really all one. And we all play our role in the Jewish people, using our talents and abilities to make a difference. And that's something that we appreciate. So I think that feeling comes out when people come on our programs and they get involved in the organization, because we're not just here to, like, you know, so to speak, use people as a means to an end. But what it's really about is appreciating the beauty and specialness and the Tzelem Elokim, the image of God of every single Jew. And that's what I think people appreciate. So that's one. But these people in particular, Yossi, are just like, you know, it blows your mind. I mean, they just are getting involved in Yiddishkeit, in Judaism for themselves in such special ways. I give you an example, you know, the Mosses, you know, these are people who have, again, you know them. David has become one of my best friends. I mean, he and his wife, Lauren, are such genuine people. And when they saw Judaism, they, Tamu Ru'u Ki Tov, taste it and see how good it is. They just opened up their hearts. They came, as Lauren said, they got involved and their lives started to rock. And I think what's so special about that is that that's really one of the things that we as an organization are trying to teach people.
You know, one thing that we see in David and Lauren Moss is their ability and their willingness to reach others in their area. Now, that would be something that others might say to themselves, I'm not a rabbi, you know, I don't know all that much. I've sort of, I'm just beginning to touch Judaism and the real meaning of it. Like, maybe I'll just try to figure this out for myself way before I reach out and involve other people. But yet they step up to the plate.
And it's also one of the things, Yossi, that I think that we are trying to share, and the Mosses and really all of our honorees represent this in a very profound way.
I want to move down the island a little bit to Shiffi and Morty Edelman, who are being honored tonight as well. Now, on the flip side, you know, Shiffi and Morty are people that grew up with Judaism in their lives, in their bones and in their veins, you know, growing up, different necessarily from the background that the Mosses had, but yet their involvement in Project Inspire and for the Jewish people overall is really amazing. I actually just a few days ago had a call together with them, and you wonder to yourself, like, do they have anything else going on in their lives besides for Project Inspire and the Jewish people?
I remember I was doing a home hero training. We did in somebody's house in the 5 towns. And I remember Shiffy was sitting there. And just, you don't know, what a person can do. She comes in, it was a 3-part Kiruv outreach training program, how to share the beauty of Judaism with your fellow Jew. And she's just sitting there. And if I remember correctly, I think she had some people at her work that she felt that, how do I help some friends at work? And from that, but what's amazing about Shiffy is her sense of responsibility, that someone can take responsibility. She took it, she integrated it, she listened, and she said, okay, let's really try to do something in 5 towns. And she, together with a group of other partners that developed, have taken hundreds of people on trips to Israel, brought them back, started communities, but all with such humility. It's so hard sometimes to get people to take responsibility, but someone like Shivi and Mordy, the way they've done this, and people to their homes, but the community and the building and take responsibility for that, it's unbelievable.
It really is, and I think that their magnetic ability to get others involved is really, I was on the phone with Shiffy and her group the other week, and she said, it's not easy to keep getting new people involved. And I looked at her and I said, like, oh, I know. Shiffy, watching this, is going to want us to mention the fact that Tzipora Sachs and Stacy Tenenbaum and Tzipi Harlap and Essie Staller and Rifki Rosenwald and anybody else, just as a group, they really are focused on the Jewish people. And I know that's a message that's very important to you. I want to cross the Belt Parkway into Brooklyn for a moment, where we're honoring, as you saw, we're honoring the group in Brooklyn, the Project Inspire Brooklyn group, led by the Zagatinskys.
Absolutely.
Watching this community grow and people bringing other people on board, more religious, not as religious, what does that as a community tell you in terms of the success of Project Inspire?
One of the programs we do with these people is we call it a black box breakfast, right? They get together on a Sunday morning, they put some tefillin on, they may have a little, they'll learn together. Often, when people come together and they're looking at each other, the person who's Orthodox might look at the person who's secular and say, oh, you know what, this person's very secular. What do I have in common with him? And vice versa. But what happens through these communities and through all the trips that we do and what we create is an understanding that we are truly one. And that's really what the Jewish people is really all about. Much of our success, thank God, I believe, is because when you create that kind of unified feeling, and when we drop our barriers and we feel that oneness with each other, right? Hashem says, this is what I'm waiting for.
When we run our signature programs, bringing Jews, religious and non-religious together, we see that right away, where all these misconceptions just melt away, and they find the common traits that we have together, and within minutes.
We just do fantastic programs to Austin, Texas, and just even after the second day, the connection that people have, because this message gets across that we are one. We after 2 days, we're seeing each other becoming closest of friends. But not only that, right, we have a beautiful heritage, which is so profound and so meaningful. And that when people get involved in learning Torah together, it touches people. It's not just the closeness, but it's the closeness around sharing the beauty and the wisdom of our Torah. So the person who's the mentor, let's say 2 people are learning together, he's looking at the person who's just getting involved and who's so excited about his Judaism.
Why aren't I?
Yeah, why don't I have that? And he's learning from him. And the other way around, of course, is also true. And it's such a beautiful, we call it a symbiotic relationship of each one inspiring each other. And that's the way it works so beautifully.
Now, last but not least, on the same vein, Miriam and Eli Leibowitz, who were partners way before we actually took her on board to run our division, our community out in Toronto.
Miriam and Eli, it's just, they're all virtuous. So it's so easy to feel that sense of closeness to them. And that for them has expressed themselves in the fact that I think that they are such a role model of what it means to be a Project Inspire couple. Of course, what we're all about is Achenu B'nai Yisrael, brothers, bringing back and sharing the beauty of Judaism with our brothers and sisters. But you know how much this changes us in the process. And that's, you know, and that's what I think with, you see a family like the Leibowitzes, and you see how the kids are getting involved and affected by it, and how rich they are as people, what's wonderful people. You meet Ellie and Miriam saying, wow, just want to be like those people. But they have taken incredible responsibility for the whole community to really change it. And again, that's what we are. We're all about. We're living in a time where we have to, each one of us is being called. Each one of us, if you understand the beauty of Judaism, right, it's your responsibility to share. And each one of these honorees has it, whether it's somebody who's just come to Judaism more recently and is sharing the aleph that he or she knows, or it's someone who grew up throughout their life and understands that these people have got the message, and this is what the Jewish people really needs more than anything right now.
These are really the heroes of unity that we're describing tonight.
They are fantabulous.
Rabbi Sampson, you mentioned David and Lauren Moss and their level of partnership with Project Inspire. You know, one of the things that we get from our partners, as you know, is that they come up with their own ideas, and we implement a lot of the ideas which have been game changers for us as an organization. And one of those was the recent Hamptons trip. Dave called us up and said, hey guys, we're coming out of COVID, it's close by, why don't we really gather the troops in the Hamptons? And it seemed like, you sure we're gonna do this? How are we gonna? And he put his head to it, and we were able to run a fantastic trip. Ladies and gentlemen, a sneak peek into the Hamptons, which was the brainchild of David and Lauren Moss.
The Project Inspire Hamptons trip has been the most incredible trip. The truth is, it's brilliant.
This has been a very festive togetherness, eating, drinking, swimming, bike riding, playing tennis already in just a short day and a half.
We have Jews from all walks of life. This place makes you feel like you're one.
Everybody in the room understood. They are leaders. We had a whole session about how we can share and how we can go back to our communities together with Project Inspire, that we can really make an incredible impact.
Come on a Project Inspire trip. You will grow, you will relax, you will become a better you will learn about yourself and other people. So come.
Rabbi Sampson, I appreciate you coming out here to join me on this program. I think that the insight in not only the honorees themselves of tonight, but the program overall, it just really gives us a perspective of not only what we've done, and not only what our honorees have done, but the work that we still have left to do. And together, I want to thank the Heitman family, Stuart and Andrea Heitman, who really, were our founding partners in really getting this program and keeping it going for as long as, and they know as well as we do, we got lots more to do. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with tonight's Heroes of Unity, our honorees, David and Lauren Moss. Here they are.
I had this opportunity to go on a birthright-style trip to Israel, and I just jumped on it. It literally changed my life.
He came back completely inspired, and our world in our home started to rock. The mezuzahs went up, everything changed. He was reading, he was studying, he was learning, and I didn't understand anything that was going on.
He's one to lead by example. He saw that he needed more, and he went off exploring and finding a greater connection to his Judaism. And it's been a real pleasure to watch him over this past decade.
What I love about learning Torah is it gives me this childlike wonder and amazement. And for a 50-some-odd-year-old man to feel like that, it's incredible.
Both of us have otherwise full-time jobs, but he is, relentless in a very positive way. When he wants something for us to do something, he pushes on it and we do it because he is so inspired himself. He wants to inspire other people around him.
And he brings the people together with the wine, whiskey, and wisdom. And it's always an interesting, thought-provoking speaker that brings a little bit of the Talmud and a little bit of today and makes you look at Judaism in a different way.
David brought that freshness to us. Everything he's doing is with such sincerity, such intention, and that influenced me to focus more on my daily life than maybe I was doing a little more rote. to become a little more sincere.
Even my professional life has changed. It gives me a sense of purpose that I didn't have before, and I'm much more fulfilled.
He actually walks the walk and talks the talk. He's putting programs together. He's getting charity events together. He's making sure that we're staying in touch.
David and Lauren are just not great people. They're awesome.
They are two of the most wholesome, beautiful, giving people.
Everyone loves Lauren. There's just, you can't not love her. To know her is really to love her.
Lauren has like the hugest heart of anybody I know. She will help anyone.
I look up to Lauren and I learn from her all the time.
Not only is she an amazing person, an amazing friend, a great roommate, but again, someone that you love to learn with and just do things with, and she just has a way of bringing out the best of others.
I love how Lauren has found a way to make Yiddishkeit her own. She's an interior decorator, so she decorates her sukkah magnificent. She buys these flowers for Shabbos, and her table is set beautifully, but she loves it. She gets a love for it, and it's so kadosh, it's so holy, everything that she does.
She is literally the Ashes Chayil of my life. She has grown, she has helped me in so many ways, she supported me, she made all these adjustments for me. It wasn't always easy. She saw that it was something inside me that, was just making me better. I don't think I could have gotten here without her.
I can't say that I've been at the same pace as David, but I've learned how to make it work for me and how to grow at my own pace. My son picked me up early in the morning from the airport, and I said, "How would you like to go challah baking with me tonight?" He said, "All right, I'll go with you." So he went with me, and we learned how to bake challah together. That was the beginning of it all. From that moment in time, I never stopped baking challah. We have fresh challah in my house every week, and that's how we started with our Shabbat dinners. And now my son is inviting his college friends and people to my home, and he started dating. And he's even telling the girls that he's dating that he can't go out on Friday nights because he embraces Shabbat on Friday night with his family. I mean, I couldn't be more proud. David and Lauren are really, they live that light. They share the light of Judaism. They lead by example. They celebrate Shabbat, and they don't just celebrate Shabbat and welcome you into their home. Lauren has taught us skills so that we can celebrate Shabbat.
David learned from me, I learned from David. As a team, we all can kind of help the Jewish people become better people.
There's a handful of us that are very, very close today and meet on a regular basis, speak on a weekly basis.
And to watch this chevra, this group of people, and the giving that they do. Someone passes away, they are on it, they are there. Someone gets married, they are there. They're making sheva brachas. Everyone in this group is special, and they're leaders in this group.
They could be the poster children for Project Inspire in that they want to learn, grow, and share. We always say that's what we're after. People should want to learn, they should want to grow from that learning, and they got to share it with every other Jew.
The gratitude is just tremendous, and I really have to say that there aren't a lot of words to explain it.
Change is hard. And when you have the support of an organization and you have the support of good, loving, caring people, it really, makes it happen.
They have literally worked on themselves, became inspired, brought it to their family, extended it to their community, built a wonderful community of friends around them, and they continue to push themselves and give back and have become leaders.
Even though my wife and I have only known him a short time, relatively speaking, we feel like we've known him all our lives.
When I think of the Mosses and I think of their journey, I look to them as actually role models.
I am extremely excited that I have the opportunity to stand here and thank the Mosses for being the guiding light, for living the example.
We wish for the Mosses the continued goodness that they have, the happiness they have sharing simchas with their families, good health, nachas from their children.
And what I would love for them is just to continue the friendship, the love that we have for each other, for both our families as well as others.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Just do it and do it higher and do it better.
Ladies and gentlemen, David and Lauren Moss, you guys are amazing. Thank you for sharing yourselves with Project Inspire. It's really an honor to have you a part of our family. Ladies and gentlemen, God willing, the Project Inspire convention is back after popular demand of 2 years of banging down our doors. We are back February 25th through the 27th at the Armone Hotel in Stamford, Connecticut. What a lineup of speakers from all over the world, your favorites from the past, some new ones, and of course, the Project Inspire surprises at the Project Inspire convention. A spectacular weekend. There are still some rooms available. Please make sure to register at projectinspire.com for the convention. We will leave the light on for you. And if you have not donated yet to this amazing virtual dinner event, please do so by going to pidinner.com. That's PI as in Project Inspire Dinner, pidinner.com. You can click below when you're watching this video and donate to Project Inspire to help us continue to do the wonderful work that we do, and in honor of tonight's honorees. Once again, pidinner.com to contribute to tonight's event. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go to the studio in Long Island where Joey Newcomb is standing by. So many of you have got to experience Joey Newcomb on the lawn in the Hamptons where we danced the night away with Joey Newcomb. He is standing by. Ladies and gentlemen, let's open our hearts. Let's picture ourselves standing at the Western Wall. There are so many of us that want to go back there, hopefully very soon. Joey Newcomb's beautiful rendition of Together and Unity. No one does it quite like Joey Newcomb. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Joey Newcomb.
Hey, look at Project Inspire. Hey, look at Project Inspire. Gewalt, mamish gewalt. So heilig to be part of this. And I personally feel connected, I'll be honest with you, because I was zeiche to play by the Hamptons retreat with a bunch of heilig Yidden dancing outside in the middle of the Hamptons. It was mamish, the holiest of the holiest, mamish. But I saw Achdus over there. I saw beautiful Yiddishkeit. I saw mamish growth. It was amazing. So I personally feel connected. And of course, you have to give a special shout out to the honorees, a special thank you to the honorees. Morty and Shifty Edelman, Ellie and Miriam Leibowitz, and David and Lauren Moss. A big yashikayach for supporting and helping out such a heilige organization. So we're going to sing about Achdus because that's the whole avoid. You ready over there, Heilige Rebbe? It was like this. I am an ancient wall of stone atop a hill so high. And if you listen with your heart, you just may hear my cry. Where has the Beis Hamikdash gone? I stand here all alone. How long am I to wait for all my children to come home? A house of marble and of gold once stood here by my side. From far and wide all came to see its beauty and its pride. But sin Aschiyinam brought it down, and with it so much pain. And only Ahavas Yisroel can build it once again. Together, we stood by our Sinai, my daughters and sons. Together, forever, we must stand together forever as one. Everyone together, we stood by our Sinai, B'nai stand together forever as one. So Chevra, wherever you are, let's think unity. Let's get together. Mamash Geval. Unity is what's gonna bring us to the end goal over there. It goes like this. Like angels in the sky, in a garden full of glory, the galaxies so brilliantly related. Ultimately high on that first page of our story, till the time our parents were created. The envious brother came, threw a blow so mad and chilling. Tragically, he never did recover. It's really so insane, all our selfishness that's killing that stranger who's our sister and our brother. So listen, brother, listen, friends, just a little smile, a helping hand, and we all will find the loving kind humanity. We must teach our children to treat a fellow friend like they were you, and then we all will find such peace of mind and unity. So listen, brother, listen, friends, just a little smile, a helping hand, and we all find the loving kind humanity. We must teach our children to treat a fellow friend like they were you, and then we all will find such peace of mind and unity. Oh, you want to go like that, Reb Tzvi over there? Okay. Gotta switch the guitar for that one. Here we go, Chavre. Project Inspire, they just keep bringing us higher, and they bringing light of Torah, lighting our souls on fire, and they help you, and you help me, bring the world together till the day we'll be free. Come together right now over me. Project Inspire, yeah. Okay, Chavre. Hailing a Project Inspire.
Listen, brother. Oh, we're back on? Ladies and gentlemen, nobody does it quite like Joey Newcomb. Unbelievable. Thank you, Joey. We'll come back to you. Stick around. Staying in Long Island, staying right there in Long Island, we go to our next honoree, to Morty and Shiffy Edelman. Truly partners of Project Inspire, people who literally would wonder if there's anything going on in their lives besides a Project Inspire. Let's take you to our next honoree film to honor Morty and Shiffy Edelman.
Shiffy is Naomi to my Ruth. Where she goeth, I goeth. Her beliefs are my beliefs. Her country is my country. Her ladies are my ladies. Her chalado is my chalado. Her family is my family.
She's so easy to talk to. She's warm. She's has a welcoming home.
She just has this certain talent and a way about her that connects with people, and people feel it because it's genuine.
She happens to be a uniquely positive, hardworking, amazing person.
anyone that's friends with her becomes part of her family.
And one of the things that I find inspiring is she really lives what she does. She's always going to shiurim. She's always working on chaburas for growth.
I was working as a social worker in Long Beach Hospital. Every day there was a new question being posed to me, and every day I would say, wow, that's a great question. I wish I knew the answer. And at that point, Project Inspire was doing these events in my neighborhood, so I'm like, oh, let me check it out. Maybe I'll get some of the answers to my questions at the event. So
She is Mrs. Project Inspire. Shifi is all in. She had these women at work she wanted to bring with her, so she created J Inspire to be able to bring these women on the trip.
Initially, my goal was just to get my 4 friends on the trip, but lo and behold, there was a lot more work involved than just getting them on the trips. With the help of Project Inspire backing us, we put together an organization to bring women. At first, they asked, how many women do you want to bring? And I said, you know what, like, I don't know, I know 4. Essie's like, no way, we're doing 20. I was like, we don't know 20 women. When there's a will, there's a way, because we filled that trip up with women. But after that, we never had to recruit again because the women came back and they told their friends, and here we are today.
She was my leader on my trip that I went on through J Inspire, and the special bond that we have started there but continued.
I think the trips that Shifi, runs and works on are so instrumental in helping so many people. And the follow-up that she does the whole year, it's not a job that you could ever stop doing. It's 365 days of the year.
We didn't have the kosher kitchen. And after going on Project Inspire, I came home, Matt and I were talking, and he's like, let's do it. I mentioned it to Shifi, and the rest is history. Her and a few others came over and helped us kosher our kitchen, and we've had a kosher kitchen for over 2 years now.
It's given my life so much meaning. I've made so many friendships with people I never would have had an opportunity to meet. The more we get to know each other, the more we see how similar we are.
It brought all of us, myself and the kids, a better understanding and appreciation of what we have, what we grew up with, and what we, quite frankly, all these years took for granted.
Even today we went to yoga together, and the yoga teacher asked her, what do you do? And she goes, I do Yiddishkeit. That's what I do.
When people say, why do you do this? I'm like, because I can't help myself. It's inside me, so I want to share it.
She spends so much time making sure that everything gets done, from the programming to the trips to the classes. And she's always there with her learning, and she'll teach if she needs to. She's like that chameleon who will just do all the jobs that need to get done.
She just started taking responsibility and trying to do more and more and help us with our programs, and soon enough she became like this incredible leader, and Morty is right behind her and supporting her and having people in the home, and it's just become a tremendous place for people to grow.
People who are by Shifi and Morty, they could feel the warmth, they could feel the ahava that's in that house. People who are there for Shabbos want to really find out more about Yiddishkeit.
My wife figured out a way how to bring people into our home and forge friendships and relationships with them in her way, and my way is through smoked brisket and scotch. Attributes
that stand out about Morty are a willpower, a determination, and tremendous bein adam l'chaver, midos of bein adam l'chavero.
Morty is a rock star in his own right. He supports her in everything that she does, and he accompanies her when she needs to be accompanied, and he stays home when he needs to stay home.
Morty has gone along with everything. In 2011, I had a 4-year-old at home, and I said one day, so I'm going on a trip to Israel for 10 days, and he's been supportive all along. I've done close to 8 trips now, and every time I go, there's never an objection. My kids actually look forward to it now.
Extremely proud and amazed at what she's been able to accomplish all these years. Pretty incredible.
She and Morty should only have lots of Yiddish nachas from their children.
They should keep going, mechayel al chayel, in their avodah for the tzibur.
It is for these reasons and many others that Shifi and Morty are like sister and brother.
So a huge yasher koach to this couple we love. One last shout, mazel tov.
Thank you, Morty and Shifi Edelman. Congratulations to you. And our bracha to you and to us is that, God willing, we should continue many, many more years and great successes together. Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, most of you already know that Project Inspire's one-on-one program is a spectacular program that's run by Danielle Haas and her crew, making sure that the relationships created through the learning are long-lasting and extremely productive. You could sign up on projectinspire.com to become a mentor, or if you'd like to learn more, of course, you could sign up as well on projectinspire.com. One of our sponsors of tonight's program and our virtual dinner are David and Gila Weinstein from Bergen County. Thank you for being part of Project Inspire. Thank you for being part of our family. Thank you for your participation in our programs and for your generous contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, in an exclusive interview from Charlie Harari on the Shabbat Show of Gila Weinstein about the impact that the one-on-one program made in her life and the relationship it created with her partner. Here we go. Let's roll the tape.
So every week, you know that we start talking a lot about the one-on-one programs. Those of you who haven't signed up, you really should. At any point, if you want to sign up, all you got to do is text one-on-one to 97000. Just text one-on-one to 97000. It's an incredible program. I mean, you get to connect to an individual, talk about wisdom, talk about life, learn together on your schedule, whatever you want. Like, it's awesome. And lots of people have been taking advantage of it, thank God, and we hope that you do as well. And this week we want to actually, it's supposed to go into a family for Shabbat. We actually want to go to a study partner. I want to welcome to the show Victoria Mion and Gila Weinstein, who have joined us, and they are study partners on this one-on-one experience. I want to welcome both to the show. Victoria and Gila, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Charlie.
It's an honor to have you both on. And Victoria, I want to begin with you. Tell us a little bit how you got involved, and tell us a little bit about your one-on-one experience and what it's doing for you.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I found out about learning one-on-one program through actually a wonderful, wonderful organization. I moved to Bergen County about 2 years ago, and I didn't know anybody here. Well, I knew just very few people here, and I was in the beginning of my spiritual journey. My sister, back a little bit earlier, prior to that, introduced me to Project Inspire, and I kind of was diving into it a little bit and trying to figure out what I can learn and how I can really make it more personable and make it more intimate. And ironically enough, this program today is about challah. I was invited to Bergen County monthly challah bake that is being ran by Jewish Journeys of Bergen County, and somebody there told me about this lovely program, Learning One-on-One. And I reached out, I sent them an email. There's a very quick questionnaire of what you're looking for and things like that. And I was matched up with this wonderful, wonderful Gila Weinstein, who has become, we've been learning over a year now, who has become not just my learning partner, but also my friend. So that's how I found out about the Learning One-on-One. It was amazing.
That's incredible. Gila, tell us a little bit about what you're getting from it. What are the things that you are taking from this incredible partnership that you have in your growth?
So one morning I just got a phone call. Someone asked me if I would be a partner in Torah, and I was like, is this God calling me and telling me that this is what I should be doing now? Because I didn't know what exactly a partner in Torah was. And then I realized that's what my husband's been doing all along. He's been learning with people, and my sister-in-law has been learning for over 10 years. I just didn't know the term. And turns out my husband's the one that signed me up, not necessarily straight from God. But either way, it's been an incredible time. We've been learning for about over a year. And I never learned things, Torah, Parsha, Yom Tovim, Shabbos, in a way that I'm able to teach it and to explain it and to talk about it. And so my learning has been increased, in a more creative way, in a more deeper, more fulfilling way. It's been really inspirational. learning with Victoria. She's incredible and she's so motivated. And so learning with her has been such a journey.
Amazing. Well, I got to tell you, both of you guys are an inspiration to so many people. You know, Victoria, if I can leave you to ask you one last question, what would you tell people that'll say, I'd love to do it, I want to do it, I'm so busy, I really should, I'm going to do it tomorrow. You know, it'll be a great thing to do next summer. I think next winter's a good time, maybe next March. What would you tell someone that's like really too busy to do this and is hesitating? What kind of advice would you give them?
I have to say one thing. I think once you make a commitment for yourself, just make a commitment for yourself that you're going to try. And once you make that commitment for yourself to try, Hashem will guide you, and learning one-on-one will guide you as well. Because once you are matched up with a partner, one thing I must say about Gila, I think the reason why we connected so well is because there's absolutely zero judgment that is coming from her. Zero judgment on my decisions I've made in the past, or even decisions that I sometimes make now. None of us are perfect, and she made me realize that. And we don't just learn weekly parshas or holidays or anything like that. We also learn life, because Torah teaches us and gives us instruction how to live a better life. And having that partner that you can connect with is definitely, it's been super helpful to me as I'm going through this journey. So I highly, highly recommend. All it takes is just a couple of minutes, send an email, and the rest, I mean, I am very grateful for this organization and to Gila as well.
Amazing. Well, to both Gila and to Victoria, Shabbat Shalom to both of you. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you do. And I hope that many people will follow in your footsteps and continue to understand the beauty and the power of Torah. Thank you guys so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the power of the one-on-one learning program where partners come together to study Torah, and it impacts both of their lives. Not just the student, but the mentor as well. You can be that person today as well. You can be a mentor or a student by signing up at projectinspired.com. Allow our one-on-one program to impact your life as well. Sign up today. And if you have not donated yet to this amazing virtual dinner event, please do so by going to pidinner.com. That's PI as in Project Inspired Dinner, pidinner.com. You can click below when you're watching this video and donate to Project Inspire to help us continue to do the wonderful work that we do, and in honor of tonight's honorees. Once again, pidinner.com to contribute to tonight's event. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 30 plus years, the Jewish world has been blessed to have an amazing individual inspirer, storyteller, and legendary speaker in Rabbi Pesach Krohn. Rabbi Pesach Krohn is a dear friend of Project Inspire and has wowed crowds of thousands and tens of thousands over the years. He shares with us tonight what he considers to be one of his most powerful stories of all time, special for tonight's evening of the Project Inspire Heroes of Unity event. Rabbi Pesach Krohn.
I would like to share with you one of the greatest stories I have ever heard. You know, many times people ask me, what is your favorite story? And I've told hundreds of them, if not thousands. But this really is near the top of the list. And I think you'll agree with me that it is really so moving. I'm grateful to Rabbi Eli Yellen in Detroit, who told me the story a number of years ago. In Brooklyn today, there is a yeshiva called Yeshiva Derech Chaim. The Rosh Yeshiva is Rabbi Moshe Pluchak. And he told me that every year during the summer, the Kollel fellows, they go up to Greenfield Park and they have what's known there as a Kollel Mechanchem. It is a beis medrash, it's a place of Torah study, where not only the Kollel fellows of Yeshiva Derech Chaim come to learn, but many mechanchem, many teachers, many of the rabbis of various camps in the mountains, they come to learn there either in the morning or in the afternoon, and the voice of Torah is just so resplendent in that beis medrash. Now, of course, Rabbi Pluchak has been there for years, and over the years he's gotten to know most of the people, of course, who come there year after year. One year, he walked in the first day and he noticed that there was a very well-dressed businessman that had sat down in the beis medrash, and he was learning from his art scroll Gemara. Rabbi Pluchak didn't know who he was, but he was intrigued by him because it seems that if he had a difficulty, he would go over to one of the other Kola fellows or one of the other Rebbeim, the teachers, and he wasn't embarrassed to ask somebody that was probably half his age, and he would ask him various questions. And Rabbi Pluchak noticed this for 2 or 3 days, and then he decided to go over to him. And he said, you know, I've been watching you the last couple days. Who are you? I've never seen you here before. And he said, Rabbi Pluchak, you don't know me, but I just want to tell you that the Art Scroll Gemara is carrying me. He said, what do you mean by that? He said, Rabbi, I'm very sick. I have liver cancer. And if I would concentrate and think about my terrible illness, I wouldn't be able to make it through the day. So I come here to study Torah. I never had a yeshiva education, but now, thank God that the Art Scroll Gemaras are available. I try to study as much as I can, and of course I don't understand everything, so I will go over to ask somebody. I'm not embarrassed to ask anybody the questions. And Rabbi Pluchak said, you know, sir, I would like to become your friend. I don't want you to ask anyone any question, just ask me. I don't want you to have to go over to anyone. If you have any difficulty in the Gemara, come over to me. I'll be happy to give you the answer if I know it, and if I don't, I'll go out and find the answer. But you just study, and let's be friends. We'll study together sometimes, and you can ask me any question that you like. And throughout the summer, Rabbi Pluchak and this gentleman became very, very friendly. Next to the last day of the session of the summer, the next day everybody's going to be going home. And Rabbi Pluchak walked into the Beis Medrash, and this guy wasn't in his regular seat. He didn't know where he was. And Rabbi Pluchak kind of got worried. And he sees the man is sitting in the back seat. He's very pale, and he just doesn't look good, and he looks sad. And Rabbi Pluchak went over to him and he said, is everything okay? You're not in your regular seat. Are you all right? And the man said, Rabbi, my illness is getting worse. It's progressing. And you know, I've been thinking, what's the difference if I learn Torah anyway? All you guys, you're great Talmidei Chachamim. You know so much. You teach so much. You think I understand everything that I'm learning? And even when you explain it to me, I understand most of it, but I don't really understand everything. What difference is it if I learn anyway? Who cares? What difference is it? And Rabbi Pluchak told me that it was an absolute miracle that he had heard this story the night before on a Jewish radio station. Now, many years ago, there was a great Italian symphony orchestra leader. He was a great conductor, probably one of the greatest that ever lived. He died in 1957. He was 89 years old. His name was Arturo Toscanini. He had a photographic memory. He knew music, every detail of every concert. And he had a raging temper, besides everything else. So it wasn't easy to get along with him, but he was a genius. And he was having his biography written by an American correspondent. And every day, this gentleman, the correspondent, would come to Toscanini's home, and he would interview him, and they were just about to finish the book. And one afternoon, the biographer said, Your Honor, I'd like to come tomorrow night and finish off the book so that we can get it published. And Toscanini said, no, not tomorrow night. Nobody can come to my home tomorrow night. He said, why not? What do you mean? He said, well, tomorrow night I'm doing something very special and I don't want any interruptions whatsoever. He said, Your Honor, what are you doing? He said, you know, I used to travel all over the world and I led symphony orchestras all over. But now I can't travel anymore. And tomorrow night, I am going to be listening on the radio to a conductor, how he conducts a musical orchestra in Europe. Now, I know that piece. I conducted that piece for that orchestra. I want to see and I want to listen how he does it. I don't want any interruptions. He says, Your Honor, I won't say a word. I'll just move to the other side of the room. I won't say a word. It would be such a privilege for me to be here and listen to it together with you. He says, okay, if you promise not to say anything, then you can come. And sure enough, the concert was the next night at 8 o'clock. And 7:45, the biographer walks in, just greets the maestro, sits down in the other room, and on the other side of the room. And then at Right before 8 o'clock, Toscanini puts on the shortwave radio, and together they listen to it. In 3/4 of an hour, the concert, that piece was over. And Toscanini shuts off the radio. And the biographer says, "Wasn't that magnificent?" And Toscanini says, "No, it wasn't." And the biographer says, "What do you mean, Your Honor?" He says, "Well, there was supposed to be 120 musicians there. 15 were supposed to be violinists. Only 14 violinists showed up." Now, the biographer didn't want to tell Toscanini he was crazy, because otherwise he wouldn't let him finish the book. But he was thinking, how could this guy possibly know over the radio that one violinist was missing? So he just shrugged his shoulders and just did whatever he had to do, and then he left. But the next morning he had to check it out to see if it was really true. And he called the musical director in that country. And he said, "I'm an American correspondent. I've got to know, tell me, how many people were supposed to be, how many musicians were supposed to be at that concert, and how many showed up?" And the musical director told him there was supposed to be 120 musicians. 15 were violinists, but only 14 showed up. The guy went out of his mind. He couldn't believe it. How could Toscanini have possibly known that? He goes back to Toscanini that evening, and he says, "Your Honor, I owe you a great apology. I didn't really think that you could possibly know that, but it's true. The musical director told me only 14 out of 15 violinists showed up. How did you know that?" Listen to what Toscanini said. He said, "There's a great difference between me and you. You are part of the audience, and to the audience, everything sounds great. But I'm the musical conductor, and I, as the conductor, have to know every note of music that could come forth from an orchestra. When I began listening very closely, especially to the violinist, I realized that not the full blast and the full tones were coming through. I knew without a doubt that there was a violinist that was missing." And then Rabbi Pluchak turned to this gentleman who he was telling the story, and he said, "Sir, maybe to me it doesn't make a difference that you're learning Torah, but to the conductor of the World Symphony, Hashem himself, God himself, who knows every line of Torah that can be learned, who knows of every line of tefillah, prayer that can be prayed, to him, to the conductor of the World Symphony, he knows the difference. To him it makes a difference. He knows what you're learning." And this gentleman was so overwhelmed. He got up and he hugged Rabbi Pluchak and he kissed him. And he said, "Thank you so much. You've made such a difference in my life." And the next day they parted ways. And a few months later, Rabbi Pluchak told me he was walking in the street and he saw the son of this man. And he said to him, "You know, how's your dad?" And the young man said, "Rabbi, my father passed away. But I just want to tell you that ever since he came back from the summer vacation, every time he opened up his Gemara and he was learning, he said, 'I am performing for the conductor of the World Symphony.'" What a great expression. The reason that this story is so great is because we are all musicians in Hashem's symphony orchestra. Hashem knows what talents we have, what capabilities we have, and that is our obligation. That's what Project Inspire is all about, to take the talents of every Jew, all levels of religiosity, to bring us together as friends, to bring us together to be proud of our Jewish heritage, and to be able to play music for the conductor of the World Symphony.
What an amazing message. What an amazing message. It's so important for us to remember when we're doing this line of work that we're part of the symphony orchestra. We're just doing our part. That's the message of Project Inspire. It's the message of our honorees tonight. Doing our part as part of the symphony orchestra together. Thank you so much for that, Rabbi Krohn. And our blessing to you is that for many, many more years, the Jewish people should continue to be inspired by your talks and your stories. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not donated yet to this amazing virtual dinner event, please do so by going to pidinner.com. That's PI, as in Project Inspire Dinner, pidinner.com. You can click below when you're watching this video and donate to Project Inspire to help us continue to do the wonderful work that we do, and in honor of tonight's honorees. Once again, pidinner.com to contribute to tonight's event. Ladies and gentlemen, as we honor the heroes of unity in tonight's virtual dinner program, we turn your attention to Project Inspire's mission of unity in this fantastic film.
My Judaism pretty much was non-existent before I got involved with Project Inspire.
I knew I was Jewish. I was proud to be Jewish, but we didn't do a lot. So I didn't feel very connected.
We didn't even know what observant people did or who they were or what they were about.
I was a little bit cynical.
You know, I was totally unaffiliated. We weren't doing anything other than the High Holy Days. And then after I went to Israel for the first trip, the first JWRP trip back then, something ignited inside of me. Ever since then, we've been growing by leaps and bounds, getting involved in so many more things, meeting so many amazing people.
So before Project Inspire, I don't think I would feel that I could have such an effect or influence on maybe Jews that are coming from a more secular background. And I would be like, even if I would talk to them, what would they do? What would I influence them? How would they see change?
Project Inspire brings people from all different levels of Judaism together.
The model of having both committed families with those who are exploring and learning more, to have them come together through Project Inspire, I think is a very winning combination.
Project Inspire is able to cater to any group of individuals, whether you were from birth or you're just coming back to Judaism.
It's really to hold hands with those that are observant so we can understand what it's all about.
Who doesn't need inspiration? And the best way to be inspired is to inspire others.
And they feel that if the 10% that are connected would infect the other 90 with their passion for Yiddishkeit, it would be a game changer.
Any one more person you get to come into Yiddishkeit, to become Torah mitzvahs, has changed yourself. It's a change to you, not just to him.
I have the benefit of having grown up with religious upbringing and Orthodox education, and I want to share that with people.
But someone like me, who supposedly was always affiliated, Project Inspire brought me into where I needed to be and gave me a love of Judaism.
And also my kids. My kids get to see that they're all different kinds of people and we're all so the same, and we just have to be open to learning about other people and loving other people.
Project Inspire just wants to teach and give back and have everybody feel connected to our faith and really just to be able to keep passing it on to our kids.
I was living a certain way because I didn't know about the other. And so what J Inspire does is teaches you what your choices are.
Everything that they do is all about sharing Judaism, sharing Torah, and helping people understand that this has been going on for 3,300 years. So there's got to be something to it.
It does exactly what it aims to do, which is to bring Jewish people who may not be as connected with their faith to a place where they can become much more connected, much happier, and just much more knowledgeable too. Never could have imagined that learning Torah and studying would have been so important.
You go to synagogue, you read prayer book Hebrew, and you follow rituals, and that's wonderful. But this is an opportunity to see where are the other touch points in your life to celebrate Judaism.
We went to so many Shabbatons and weekends that we truly enjoyed. Amazing speakers and Zmiros and beautiful Shabbos Sudas.
I just came back from my 5th trip to Israel.
The trip was amazing because it was 7 days of really power-packed events that we did. You are in your homeland, and that was amazing to have this feeling.
So we started these 3-day trips to Kentucky. The Bourbon Trail was the first one we did. My wife actually led a trip for the women to Fort Myers, Florida, and we found in 2.5 days this bonding, this growth, this connection to a brotherhood and a sisterhood took root in an unbelievable way.
I come out of it inspired, and I believe that The participants come out of it inspired.
Now we're on this exciting mission of getting more and more people on these trips, scaling them, trying to get them all across the United States, because this special sauce that we have has to be shared by all. And I think that's the thrust, that's the kind of the new frontier of Project Inspire, and it's quite exciting, and all our partners that are being honored, they've helped us make that happen, and they're continuing to make that happen.
Project Inspire has completely, totally changed our lives in every aspect of our life.
Judaism is now a part of my life, and I've been able to share that with my children.
My son got hurt on the basketball court, and he said to me today on the way to the orthopedist, maybe this is God's way of telling me I shouldn't have played. And all I could think to myself was that I had brought into the house something that made him think about that Hashem has a role in our daily lives, even if it's something small like making the basketball team or making the decision.
And when you start doing the things, the commandments that Hashem ordained upon us, then Hashem starts to bless you with blessings.
The organization has changed our lives, our home, our family, the friends we've made.
The focus of our lives changed tremendously from just being about ourselves to being about sharing it with other people.
Over the course of some years, that Jewish flame inside me started to dim, and then I met Project Inspire, and that flame came back, and that fire's back. That's what makes this place special.
I started doing things that I've never done in my life, for example, doing tefillin every day.
You should understand that in these United States and all over the world today, okay, being religious, keeping mitzvos, keeping Shabbat, keeping kosher, is not going to stop you from accomplishing anything you want in this world. I'm a classic example. I always say, I'm in the most non-Jewish business in the world. It doesn't make a difference. You could today, me, my children, you could walk around, you could make a Kiddush Hashem, you could sanctify God's name wherever you are, whatever you do, and don't be scared. Don't think for 1 second that by being a little bit more religious, by eating kosher, by keeping Shabbat, that's going to hold you back from accomplishing anything you want to do in your life.
We can't rely on Kiruv professionals alone. As extraordinary, as devoted, as selfless as they are, they're too few in number. But if we employ every member of the Torah community to be ambassadors, we're all shluchim, we have a responsibility. We are agents of Hashem to make a difference in His world, to care about our siblings, His other children. If we inspire ourselves to inspire others, we can transform the trajectory of Klal Yisrael. We can make changes for generations to come.
Every Jew is part of my family. Every Jew is part of your family. So when Project Inspire gives you the chance to meet more of your family, to connect with them, to do something for them, you're doing the Jewish way, and Hashem will be very proud of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, over the last couple of years, Project Inspire has turned its attention to 3-day trips as a method to getting many, many more Jews of all backgrounds involved in its programs. Many of you who are watching this have joined us on our trips to Kentucky and to Fort Myers Beach, Florida, and to the Hamptons, and most recently to Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas, first of all, no masks, and no, that's only one reason we chose that. But for real, the reason we're choosing these destinations is because these are places that you wouldn't ordinarily go to on your own. And it's an opportunity for Jews of all backgrounds to come together to discuss what we have in common, what our common goals are, and how we can continue as a group and as a family to inspire all of the Jewish people. Project Inspire's most recent Austin, Texas retreat was an awesome experience and an awesome success. We compiled a small video of amazing highlights of that trip, special for you and special for tonight's program. Let's go to the tape.
Project Inspire Texas trip has been absolutely amazing. We hit a couple distilleries. We went to the capital of Texas, downtown Austin. We're here ranching, hiking, riding, shooting, having a blast, having a great time.
Project Inspire is a lot of positive energy, a lot of empowering positive energy, learning more about myself and my journey and what I want to learn.
A lot of fun activities, a lot of connecting, a lot of learning, maybe learning something along the way about ourselves.
This is where we all come together, we learn Torah, we learn the lessons, we have fun.
It doesn't matter anyone's background, there's enough that unifies us and everyone grows from the experience.
If you asked me 20 years ago if I would ever see myself in this program, I don't think I would say that I would be here today, and I'm so glad I'm here.
Amazing experience, life-changing, doing Western things, the studying. It's really just a life-changing trip and a great opportunity. Bond with my brothers. Project Inspire, great time.
The Project Inspire retreat is Achtus, fun and learning.
Build relationships, dancing around, talking, communicating, meeting new people is just great, super. Get on the Project Inspire retreat right now. Don't even hesitate. Sign up months ahead, be the first one.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was just a small highlight film of the awesome experience in Austin, Texas. However, our May retreat is opening registration very shortly. Stay tuned for details, separate men and women's trips in May. Spectacular locations, sure to be another amazing experience. Stay tuned to projectinspire.com for more details coming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, as we cross the border into Canada, we highlight the work of Miriam and Ellie Leibowitz. Most recently on the Texas trip, an amazing group of women joined us from Toronto, and that was just a taste of what's in store for Toronto, for the Project Inspire Toronto group. Miriam and Ellie dedicate every waking moment of their lives to Project Inspire, and on a personal note, just became grandparents for the first time to a beautiful baby granddaughter. So mazel tov to Ellie and Miriam Leibowitz, and with that, let's go to the honorary film from Toronto, Canada, Ellie and Miriam Leibowitz.
Miriam and Ellie they're the prototypes of what Project Inspire is trying to accomplish. They join our Project Inspire Israel trips, and they find out that they not only are having a major impact on the participants of the trip, they themselves feel impacted. They come home and they're on fire. They jump into it more, and Ellie becomes one of our top leaders on the Israel trips. Miriam becomes our coordinator. They're having kiruv guests over all the time for Shabbos. They're really making a difference.
They don't just live for themselves, but they reach out, and their love and their caring really touches a lot of people. So Ellie and Miriam are involved not only in Project Inspire, but Ellie's a runner and they run for Chai Lifeline. Ellie's a Baal Tefillah, so he doesn't just have a good voice, but he shares it. He's Mahana our shul as the Baal Tefillah on Yom Noraim, and the village shul, one of the 8 shuls here.
They do amazing things both in the community and with the shul.
They're really selfless. That's what they are. They're selfless, and they have such a care for Klal Yisrael, and in such a non-judgmental way. Other frum people look at them and they're like, oh, you guys are like, you're so normal and you're so frum, and you can relate to people who are from such a different background. They're like the example of what it means to be able to reach out.
They're so welcoming to bring you into their house, to bring you into their lives, to connect with their kids. That's part of who they are together.
And Miriam, if something needs to be done, she does it. She goes to it.
She really also is great at getting extremely overwhelming things done. So as soon as everything started changing, she right away goes on Amazon, orders tents. She's like, okay, boom, done. We'll do it in tents outdoors. She's doing Zoom challah bakes. She's whatever there is to do, you know that Miriam's going to do it, and she's going to do it well.
Miriam was my trip leader on my first trip to Israel with J Inspire. Miriam just has this calm energy about her, and is just that warm, welcoming person that she'll sit down with anyone, have a conversation with them, and it doesn't matter what your background is.
Her belief in all of us that we can each make a difference is really what it's all about. It's what I admire about her and Ellie. Having the two of them work together in different ways is remarkable.
Ellie has a true care of the individual. It doesn't matter if they're affiliated or not.
I never had heard of Project Inspire, actually, and about 6 years ago, someone from Project Inspire Toronto contacted me and said, we're doing this trip to Israel, and there's room for a city leader to go on a 2-week trip to Israel with 24 women from Toronto, and we think you'd be a great fit. And I kind of just jumped in, and it was an incredible, inspiring trip for myself, and it really re-inspired me, and I was able to really appreciate, why I do what I do, as I kind of, answered lots of questions from people who never got to experience it, and it really invigorated me, and it just kind of spiraled. My husband getting involved, going on trips.
I was in yeshiva for 2 years in Eretz Yisrael, literally a 50-minute walk from the Kaisel, and I went there many, many, many times. I never experienced the Kaisel like I did that time. There was so much emotion, so much meaning.
And I started sort of volunteering with the organization, getting more involved in programs.
I met Miriam in 2015. She invited us, like a group of women, to her home. The first time I went into an Orthodox home, and I was terrified. But we walked into her house, and she's like this normal, nice woman who invited us in, who's younger than me and is a grandmother, and I was blown away. And we've been in touch since.
Everything that you do and experience with people who've never experienced it, you have this appreciation, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've taken so much for granted my whole life. It really just inspires you, and you come home, you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to do more. How can I inspire my friends to get involved? Because it just changes your life. My husband and I come from families where our parents always had, both of us, our parents had open homes, and they would always have people over for Shabbos, and my husband and I, we always felt like we wanted to do that. We just kind of were maybe not confident with ourselves, I don't know what to say if someone asks me a question I don't know, or I'm gonna look stupid. Or I think going on these trips and getting involved with Project Inspire really gave us the confidence to be it's not about knowing the answers, it's about being a friend, caring about your fellow Jew, loving each other.
We've had families and couples that have come many times to our house, and each time you almost see the light go off in their eyes.
Now we do things a little bit differently because we've seen them in their home for Shabbat. We're like, oh, that's what they do.
I've sat at a Shabbos table with them with a mix of people, and the way they host and the way they feed off each other in a good way, and it was just such a nice experience being there.
I wish the best for Miriam and Ellie. They have given so much to their community, and we just wish all of the best for them.
Wish for them much hatzlacha and bracha, and to continue doing everything for the klal and just always being the amazing people that they are.
My wish for them is that they should continue to grow in this path of their Avas Yisrael, and to continue to spread the light that they're spreading with all of the Frum community and with the whole Frum world, and that they really are the example, and many people follow in their footsteps to continue to inspire Klal Yisrael.
Mazel tov to you guys, Miriam and Ellie out there in Toronto. Mazel tov on the granddaughter, mazel tov on the honoree. Thank you for being part of the Project Inspire family. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back out to the studio in Long Island where Joey Newcomb is standing by.
Oh, Itayr Yidin Project Inspire. Oh, sorry about that little outburst over there. Sorry about that little outburst. Lamaisa, we have to give a special yashakoyach once again to the sponsors and to all the chevra and to the honorees and everybody who's involved in helping this beautiful Maisa just grow higher and higher and higher. But let's sing together, Yidin. Yoda v'yinu chai, Yoda v'yinu chai, no Yam Yisrael, no Yam Yisrael, no Yam Yisrael. So wherever you are, sing with me, dance with me, clap, chavra. Let's get hailing right now. You ready over there? 1, 2, 3, here we go. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Und Avinu Chai, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu, und Avinu, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu, und Avinu, und Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, Chevre, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu, und Avinu, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu Chai, und Avinu, und Avinu, und Avinu Chai. All of them knows it, sing along. Oy du lashen kitoy, ki li yoy lam chazdo. Oy du lashen kitoy, ki li yoy lam chazdo. Oy du lashen kitoy, ki li yoy lam chazdo. Oy du lashen kitoy, ki li yoy lam chazdo. הפעם מוידה אס השם, הפעם מוידה אס השם, הפעם מוידה אס השם, כי לי אוילם חסדו. הפעם מוידה אס השם, הפעם מוידה אס השם, הפעם מוידה אס השם, כי לי אוילם חסדו. Sing along, Keith, let's go. Ay-di-di-da-la-la, thank you Hashem. Ay-di-di-da-la-la, thank you Hashem. Ay-di-di-da-la-la, thank you Hashem. Thank you Hashem. Ay-di-di-da-la-la, thank you Hashem. Di-di-da-la-la, thank you Hashem. Ay-di-di-da-la-la, thank you Hashem. Thank you Hashem. Let's say just the chevra over there. Ay-di-di-da-la-la, ay-di-di-da-la-la, ay-di-di-da-la-la. Thank you. Thank you. Project Inspire. Thank you so much, Cheva Heilig, Project Inspire. It's been fun, it's been real, it's been Heilig, it's been... Back again with that road sweet. Can't stop me. So what would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from Hashem. Oh, I get high with a little help from Hashem. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from Hashem. Yeah. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? It's gotta be the one up above. Oh, I get by with a little help from Hashem. Oh, I get high with a little help from Hashem. And of course, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, my friends, oh, my friends. Thank you guys. All the best.
Joey Newcomb with a little help from my friends. Amazing. Thank you, Joey, for doing that for us, special for tonight. With a little help from my friends is the perfect way to really end tonight's program, because it's been with a little help from you, a little help from our sponsors, a little help from our participants, a little help from the amazing crew at the Art Scroll Studios here, a little help from Rabbi Mordechai Trapp, who has really run this dinner campaign from top to bottom, of course, with a little help from Rabbi Chaim Sampson, our founding director, and with a little help from our staff and friends from all over the world for Project Inspire have come together to celebrate Heroes of Unity. My name is Yossi Friedman. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us this evening, for joining us in this program, for donating and contributing to help us continue the work that we do. Our blessing to you is that this year be the last time that we do a virtual dinner, because we will all be together, standing at the Western Wall, but this time overlooking the Beis HaMikdash, the temple, in its place, together as one nation. Thank you for joining us, and continue to contribute at pidinner.com throughout the evening. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.